what do you think are really the necessary qualities for this job, for screenwriting?
Becoming a screenwriter is more than just learning how to write, which I feel like is that's something you can learn in school. What makes good story structure, what makes good character development, all these things are easily learned. What separates people who want to be screenwriters from people who are screenwriters is the discipline to actually sit down and write. Many people have ideas. Rest assured, if you want to be a writer and you tell anyone you're a writer at a party or something, the first thing anyone will say is, I have a great idea for a story, and here's what it is, but they won't sit down and write it. So you separate yourself out by actually writing, ironically enough. Beyond that, it becomes about pitching your project, making professional contacts, learning how to take that story that you've written out of your computer and get it into the world. I'm a big believer that all art is a conversation between artist and audience. All writing is a conversation between writer and reader. And so unless you can get someone to read it, it's just going to lay fallow in your, I normally would say on your typewriter, but in your hard drive forever. So don't be afraid to get it out there. Learn how to take criticism and write it and get it out there so that people can beat you up for your best work.
Okay, thanks a lot. Now, it used to be that people just went, to watch movies at the movie theater and TV, some series, starting in the 70s. But nowadays, there are many other platforms. You have smartphones, tablets, and TV on the internet, a different way of watching TV. Mm-hmm. So how much has this actually changed the way screenwriters write?
The business of getting eyes on your project has always changed. It just, where the bottleneck happens has changed. It used to be getting a movie made was very, very difficult because the equipment was very expensive and film was very fragile, and so it was difficult to do. Then it became easier in the advent of digital film, but then it was difficult to get your movies distributed. You had to get movies in the movie theaters or on a certain number of networks on television. Now it's moved down the line to getting the audience aware of your project. So you write in such a way that your audience will not be necessarily large, but it will be passionate. A small, passionate audience is more valuable now than a large audience. So you write in such a way that you are true to your audience. You'll find with movies like the Marvel superhero movies or the Star Wars movies or any of these movies with fan bases that are passionate, if you are true to the stories that they have loved, they will come back again and again and again and again. If you treat them as if they're expendable, they will treat you the same way. So you need to write with respect for your audience, respect for your characters, and most importantly, respect for yourself, your own creative instincts. You have to believe that they're strong and stand by them.
You're a pitching coach. So how important is pitching up to this day in the industry? And what do you think is the ideal relation between pitching and writing? It's a two-side work in a way.
Pitching is extraordinarily important. I would say that pitching is the bridge between the two sides of the industry, between creating and exhibition, between creating something and getting it in front of an audience. Pitching is what allows that to happen. It requires communicating clearly and concisely. It requires interacting with the person you're speaking with on their own terms. It requires really good writing. If someone says, "What's your script about?" and you can't tell them in less than a couple hundred words, then your script is probably not clear enough in its goals and in its structure and its arcs. So good writing leads to good pitching leads to good production leads to good audience acquisition, but there's pitching every step along the way on that.
Do you have any, I don't want secrets here, but do you have any project that you're particularly fond of, that you're going to come out with, or you're already working on, that is renowned, that you would like to point out,
Yes.
here for our public?
I have a movie that I wrote as a screenplay, and I'm currently adapting it into a comic book. It is called Hitlersaurus. They took Hitler's brain and they put it in a T-Rex, and it rampages across Europe. It is funny. It is action-packed. If you like history, if you like dinosaurs, if you have kids who like any of those things, I promise you, I guarantee, personal guarantee, folks, this is going to win a Nobel Prize for excellence in excellence.
And it's a famous one-word pitch, right?
It's my one-word pitch. I'm in love with it. I cannot wait to have it out there in the world.
One last question about Mia. What do you think about Mia? And is there something that impressed you particularly about it?
Mia is just, I've been to many, many events, festivals, markets, screen conferences, the whole thing. Mia is so professionally run and it is so strong in achieving its goal. As I was saying about writing needs to have a very strong, tight structure. Mia knows its goals, and that is putting excellent creative people in front of excellent professional people and bridging that gap, introducing them to each other so that excellent things can come of it. It is a fantastic event that everybody should come to, whether you have a project ready to go or not. Just the networking opportunities alone. The most valuable asset is everyone else that's here. I've shaken hands with people on the first day that I would never get the chance to meet and who I'm sure we're going to have mutually beneficial professional relationships for a very long time.